Welcome everybody, Kelly from Cbi Auto Tech and Adventure. And today I'm excited, I bought something new for the truck. I got my 2020 Tacoma here and I bought myself a rooftop tent. And I ended up by going with the IKamper Skycamp 2.0. I'm super excited to get the tent. We're gonna be going to the shop to pick it up tomorrow. So I was able to pick myself up a CBI Bed Rack. So before we go and get the tent tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rack. So anyways, let's go ahead, let's get that going and then we'll get the tent. Okay, so we got that unboxed. Obviously, it's pretty obvious. We got a bag of hardware. It's got everything that you need to mount it. We got the two rails. These things are pretty sturdy. They're pretty solid. They feel like they're definitely not going to flex or anything like that. Then we got the four mounts themselves. Got the CBI logo on here and some, I guess it's for design, but we're able to connect different stuff between the bars. So anyways, let's jump in the box here. Let's get this thing on. So one of the first things we have to do, super simple, remove the factory tie down. Just unscrew it clockwise like this. Yeah, pretty good ways. Push it in and just give it a wiggle, turn and take it out. It's got these little grooves and there's one every so often. Pretty simple. We'll put that aside. Then we have to remove this end plug right here. It's kind of tricky, but you just got to kind of work it. Oh, that came out pretty simple actually. Sort of like this. It's focusing in. And anyways, just push that to the back. Then what's going to hold this in is these, basically these mounting brackets, whatever you want to call them. You can kind of see basically just two welded nuts in here. Yeah, you want basically the bottom of the nut facing out. This way would probably work, but yeah, it makes sense to do it this way. So we'll just slide that in, I guess, just like that. And we'll take the other one and we'll slide it in. Then let's go ahead and we'll put this bracket back in, or sorry, the end plug back in. Just like that. And what we have here is these bolts that are basically, we got a lock washer on there and a flat washer. In the kit there was there's 8 of these, basically 2 per bracket and 4 brackets. So pretty simple. 1 bracket forward, 1 bracket back. So we will slide one down and we'll get to that one after. So now we're going to take our mount here and we'll put it there, and we're basically just going to put the 2 bolts through and we'll just put them in finger tight. That will hold it in place. Make sure obviously when we're putting this together that we're not cross-threading anything. You want to make sure it's smooth. If you feel like there's any kind of resistance, slide it back out and maybe just try it, just dry fit it before you put it in there. Sometimes, certain bolts might have a burr on the thread or whatever it is, it's been dropped or who knows what. You don't want to force that, because now's your chance to clean it up if you need to. So I'll probably just leave that at a point where it's on and just kind of slide it around. I'm gonna go ahead, do the same thing. Let's get all 4 of those on before we go any further. So what I've gone ahead and done is put in the 2 brackets in about an equal position that I know, it looks like it's gonna balance the tent correctly. Tomorrow when we install the tent, I guess we'll have to double check to see that it looks right. So for now, we're just gonna put it into this position. I've put it so that the factory tie down fits on the very front location, so we can use those if we need it. Gone ahead and measured it to the end of the box. Both sides, made sure they're both even. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna lightly tighten these down. We've got the crossbar sitting on here. It looks as though there's quite a bit adjustment on either end. We got to get those 4 bolts there, 4 bolts there. So let's go ahead and let's just tighten those in lightly for now. Okay, so what we have here is 8 bolts on either side to get this crossbar installed. We have these bolts right here. We got a flat washer on the top. We're going to put another flat on the bottom, and we have some 1/2-inch lock nuts here. You're going to need a 3/16 hex socket to get inside there to hold it. So I've gone ahead, I've installed all the little bolts on both sides. Pretty straightforward. Just drop it in, put your washer, put your lock nut, and put those on here. Now there's not a lot of room for adjustment. It just has a little bit of play just so you can make it, you know, so it fits in very nicely. So yeah, you know, I guess, you know, just even it out a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten this down. Well, now that I got this first bar installed, it feels very sturdy, like big time. I don't feel like, you know, any wiggle in here whatsoever. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty impressed. This is definitely sturdy. I mean, I don't know, you know, I'm not super heavy. I'm 170 pounds, so yeah, for one bar, I'm not sure exactly what the rating is for them anyways, actually. I did never check. But, you know, I'm assuming if it's rated for a rooftop tent between the two bars, I mean, you know, you get a few people in there, it's got to be rated for some good weight anyways. So let's go ahead, let's get that other bar on, and yeah, we'll take a quick look. Well, the install was pretty simple. Probably take you around 20 minutes or so. If you don't have an electric impact, it might take you a little bit longer. Obviously trying to do all those nuts by hand, so try and get yourself one of those. The rack looks really cool. I don't have a real need for the rack without the bed, but you know, if you wanted to store some stuff on there, I think it looks good. I think it looks great, nice rack. So you know, fit and finish seem to be really good. So anyways, I gotta go home, gotta rest, gotta work for a bit tomorrow before we get the tent. Oh my God, I'm super excited. So anyways, catch you in the morning. Welcome back, everybody. It's a new day. Quickly did a little bit of work and I took off from the shop. We are now here at Big Tent Outdoors and we are gonna pick up the tent. So let's pull this thing into the bay and let's get this tent on. Been there already. Pulled up in front of the bay here, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start getting this thing in. They're just getting the tent prepped, and we're gonna back it down into the bay, and we're gonna get this thing on here. So you just like strap it to it and just pick it up? Makes sense. That's the easiest thing to do. Perfect. You want me to back a little more, or are you gonna swing it? No, that's okay. So we can just swing it. So these are the mounting brackets here. Absolutely.
Oh, it's it up. Let's see. Wait.
Oh yeah, that's totally clears, right?
Yeah, that's nice.
Feels pretty solid. Feels solid.
Yeah, that's why I told them with the swing arm, it would basically line up with the tire, and you could get an extension for your bikes.
Yeah.
Bikes would just be a bit here standing.
Yeah, I think it'll work.
When you unlock it, you have to lock it back to take the keys off.
Oh, okay.
So we'll do the same on the other side. And I'll get you to hold on this for now.
Sounds good.
So it's just a latching system, basically with a cable. Just unhook it. Sometimes we push of the thumb, it just comes off. You feel a little vacuum or suction in the initial, but at a certain point, the gas strut will just do the job. Push itself. out.
That's right.
So at this point, you want to unhook the Velcro that holds the ladder,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and you stretch this all the way out. Oh. Take this cover off, and with one hand, just tilt it down, and just let it settle. So now, there you go, fully settled. We will adjust from the top. Set this aside by pressing this tube, and we want to make sure it's fully locked in there. And with the angle, they recommend 70 degrees. So rule of thumb, we both know it's 2
Yeah.
feet. You could reach it. Now at this point, you want to push it a little bit more and give it a couple mils.
Just so you're not like totally hanging on the
Yeah,
the
or
end
just
of
to
it.
make sure that this is fully supported too with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ladder.
Yeah.
So this is an instruction to season the canvas
Oh, okay.
or to weather it. I never did it in mine, but this is just telling you to water the tent, dry it out 3 times to let the thread expand.
Okay.
And this is a seam sealer for maintenance. You see any pinholes? That's how they measure to cut the canvas. They don't use Sharpie or anything. They just use needle pinholes, measure, cut, so that it's cleaner, flat. Never had an issue with water. This is a mechanical interlock for your gas struts. So when it's windy out there, or you want to feel extra safe, you can snap this onto the gas strut at the back, and it'll prevent it from closing. Which I'll just put it inside. This.
Perfect. Sounds good.
It's your tension pull bracket.
Yeah.
You want to face the hook down. Ensure that that thing snaps like that.
Is
So
it
means
magnetic or is it just sort of like click in?
It just
Sort of
pretty
goes
much,
in.
you know that it hits the bottom.
Sounds good.
Just to ensure that this doesn't wear out
Yeah.
over time, right? Again, 2 options: the eyelet and this little strap here, Velcro,
Yep.
or I don't know
Yeah.
what it's called. This, you use this for if you have an awning or annex.
Yeah.
And this just for regular, basically. Just like that. Same thing here. Face it down. There you go. You hear that snap. And just
So good.
so good. All right.
And it's a good idea to, you know, like when you have a like can of air to spray for your keyboard and stuff.
Yep.
Like carry 1 or 2 so
Yeah.
you can clean like edges here. Because once the sand goes in, it's really difficult to like kind of.
Especially if you're always by the lake, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So main thing, keep this in the center.
Okay.
Push basically and just let it drop. Simple as that. You want to make sure this covers the side. And just push it that way. Same thing, you want to make sure that covers the sides.
Yeah, because that's just basically what tucks it in like a
Yeah.
whatever.
So now with one hand, grab these 2 and do the other. Grab the main one and walk it back. The middle, side. Let that
Oh,
air
and just keep
disperse.
tucking and
Yeah.
letting the air come out. And it's obviously just make sure we're not pinching.
Exactly. So up to a certain point, like right here, I do a walk around.
Just double check
Make sure
that you're all.
this one usually is fine. You can leave it like that. This up top, this is where you want it to tuck. This will also keep any water or something. Never had an issue with water getting in there.
Okay.
Same thing. Now it's all done.
No, hold on.
Yeah. And you got the keys, right? Okay. So once that's latch, I start from the thicker end. That's always easier to, especially if you got pillows and blankets in there.
Yeah.
I was able to manage.
Congrats.
Thanks, bud. That's awesome.
37-inch sleeping bag,
Yeah.
maybe 37. And
So yeah, so we were saying, you're saying you want to keep it more like if you're keeping any blankets or pillows like to
Yes.
the back.
shove it all the way where
All the
there's
way.
bulge.
Yeah.
And then the second mattress.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
So
have a 2.0, so you'll have not.
yeah. So I'll just make myself like a little wedge.
Yeah.
Just to wedge it, just for...
Exactly. Extra safety, I'm sure.
Why not, right? Like, it's probably fine, but like I said, put me and my wife on that side, my little guy, if anything, on there, but I'll still put it in there, whatever. It'll be all right. Oh man, I'm super excited. So happy to see the tent on there, and it's all opened up. Yeah, just can't wait to get ready to use this thing. So gonna go back to work here, do a little bit more work, and at the end of the day we'll take her home, we'll open her up and jump in there and really check it out. So anyways, check it out. Well, I finished work, went home, had some dinner, and figured I'd find a quick spot to open up the tent and, you know, give it a try out and get inside there. Unfortunately, we're not camping tonight. I just want to quickly open it up and you know, get a feel for it. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. We're heading out. We are going to do some camping, and we're going to try this thing out ASAP. So anyways, let's open this thing up. Well, finally got the tent set up, jumped in here, check it out. I'm just amazed at how big it is. It's the 2.0 is pretty large, easily fit. You know, you could put a small family in here. Obviously, if your kids are bigger, it's probably not going to work. But for the two of us plus our one little guy, plenty of room, so much room. You can spread out, you know, be very comfortable. I can't wait to try this thing out. The weekend is coming up tomorrow, and we're gonna get out. We're gonna go camping for the weekend and try this out. So hope you liked the video. Consider give me that thumbs up, maybe subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.